Chatmamas Mavusich Anyana Chigik Jessica Ruiz. Nyaha Imuk. Hello and good day, everyone. My name is Jessica Ruiz. I am the home base parent educator for the Salt River FACE program, and I am so grateful and glad to share at this year's Culture Teacher Gathering virtually and to share a little bit about what we do in FACE for Salt River. So to provide background on what is FACE, FACE stands for Family and Child Education. It is a BIE program that focuses on early literacy, enrichment, and detection. And for Autumn and Bibosh sites, FACE sites are Blackwater, Casablanca, Gila Crossing, and Salt River. So family focus specifically for Salt River in the FACE program. Home-based families are families that are prenatal up to 3 years old. Pre-pandemic, we did in-home visits. And for the past 2 years, we have been doing virtual visits, whether it's through FaceTime, Zoom, Microsoft Teams. And for center-based families, which we have two components of, are the early childhood, which is our pre-K program that has students 3 and 4 years old, and our adult education, which is specifically for our parents, caregivers, and young parents. That means teen parents that have children either in home base or center base. So with the home-based program, language learning in the home, what we focus on during our visits and that what we'd like to incorporate is culturally is that understanding and respect of when we begin that process of introducing new life. And we like to incorporate those values that a lot of families and villages have, depending on where you're from. You know, what those roles and duties are when it comes to preparing for a child to come into this world, when it starts with pregnancy, birth giving, and then the first year of life for the child, parents, and caregivers. And so for Salt River, we really value that time when a new one comes into this world. And I was able to see quite a bit come in. Um, you know, that's always exciting news is to hear when families are expecting, and to me that's a really good blessing. And so with that, you know, as that child makes its way into the world, we will focus on, you know, culturally giving those affirmations that, you know, this child is being coming in is a blessing. And you know, whether, you know, they're Autumn or Bipash or wherever they come from, we really hold those values that each culture has and make sure that, you know, whether they know or not, that, you know, they do learn, and that, you know, these little ones that come in are considered good medicine and all of that. Um, and as they get older, you know, first years, second year, and third year, um, you know, we continue with those affirmations of talking to your child and, you know, teaching them, you know, whether it's grandparents, sister, auntie, babysitter, whoever, um, you know, in those times we use expressive words and phrases to them, and, you know, reiterating that language that we use, you know, with them really builds and shapes that mind, that they are bilingual. They are bilingual learners. You know, even if it's just, you know, small phrases that mom or dad may know, that's the start to being a bilingual language learner early on. You know, and that also includes directions and commands. You know, growing up, you know, you'd always be told "gabgi" or "gihim" and things like that. You know, those phrases, you know, those are phrases that, you know, I'm pretty sure all of us have grown up with. And so moving forward, I just want to share some of the photos that our families have submitted throughout the years with FACE, and what our our little ones have been doing and learning at home, you know, during the pandemic or, you know, pre-pandemic. And so we have some of our students, current and former, um, learning things at home culturally or just everyday living, you know, planting and taking care of plants or, you know, this one of our young boys here, you know, being able to um, hold the shopgut, you know, and he has his own along with his dad. For early childhood, language learning in the classroom, utilizing words and phrases throughout our daily schedule, um, words and pictures, picture association throughout the classroom. So you'll have a photo or an object on the wall, and then it'll have it in Autumn or Pipash around the classroom here and there, you know, like Ohan for books or Tapyard for paper. Uh, Incorporating songs in Autumn during morning greetings and circle time. Sometimes we use some of Ms. Patsy's greatest hits to get our students going and recentered throughout the day, and color and number recognition during lessons. And within our early childhood classroom, we are so grateful to have our culture team here at Salt River Elementary School come into the classroom um, and spend some time with their students and teaching them things. Here's a photo of some of our former students who are looking at the vyohok or the mesquite pods and having time to explore outside. And here are some other photos of our early childhood classroom that were submitted by our early childhood teacher. And so we have at, on the left a photo of the end of the day where they talk about things that they did today in class. And they do a lot, I believe once a month or once a week, they do a celebration of, you know, the things that they learned. And then on the right hand side, you can see, you know, the colors and in English and in Autumn. And then as well as, you know, below that, you know, Gugus, you know, a plate, a placemat with a plate, fork, spoon, and knife, and a cup. And then here we have our virtual learning. This was something that was new to us these past 2 years, was how do we incorporate, you know, the language culturally, virtually. And so what our pre-K teachers were able to do was provide kits for them to take home, and then utilizing Class Dojo for them to sign in, you know, um, as a sign-in question, you know, are you a Chohia or a Biapoy? And then, you know, they would, on their technology, they would circle what they are. And then at the bottom, you know, because they're pre-K 3 and 4 year olds, they're learning to utilize writing their name. So Chugik, you know, it's used instead of saying name. And so they write their name the best that they can virtually. In our adult education language learning with your child, again, adult education is for our center-based and home-based families that have students in the program. And in the classroom, opportunity to learn O'odham and Pipash languages with our early childhood students. And so along with our early childhood students, our culture team has been able to share and teach some of our adult learners these past couple of years, and it really kicks off during the summer when we have summer session. And a lot of times, a lot of the feedback from our adults is that they really liked learning from Hillary and Ipa when they do come in the classroom during the summer. They feel like they get to learn more during the summer than they do throughout the year, because there's so much to learn during the summer, you know, harvesting and planting and everything that goes on. And going on, our adult learners are encouraged to learn and share their tribal languages and teachings if they're from another community or nation. And so if we have families that, are from Navajo or White River, San Carlos, wherever they may come from, and, they're here at the school, they do learn O'odham and Pipash, but we also encourage them to learn their languages and um, share what they can um, with the other adult learners in the classroom as well. And we highly incorporate language and cultural teachings at school and at home. So, if our adults, that's a goal that they want to do, is to also, have a word and picture association, they have the opportunity to create those labels for their homes as well, and take them home. And another thing that's really great about our adult learners is that a lot of times they find being a part of FACE, they feel really inspired to learn things culturally and to encourage that learning with their children. And a lot of times, even though some of our adults are, not fluent speakers or not speakers at all, um, they have that willingness and open mind uh, to want to learn and try and not feel like they're going to say it wrong. And they all understand that, in this environment that, they've created in the classroom, um, they feel welcome to learn. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I'm really glad to see for the past 3 years that I've been a part of FACE, is that our parents have that willingness. And so here are some of the things that our parents throughout the years have provided, and some of the things that they have learned in the adult ed classroom. So we had a family who were bird singers, and they took this photo and shared it with us of dad and their son singing at an event. And in the middle is a little lesson of identifying colors and writing them in English. Swam, Stwa, Squamish, all the colors that, are taught with our little ones, our adults are able to learn as well. And then another photo is one of our adults had took up planting and gardening. And so this is a photo that they had in their yard of their harvest and the things that were growing. Another component that FACE does and that does provide is a family circle, and it's an event that we do once a month on various topics. And one of the biggest ones that we do is strengthening parent and child bond through native language. And the focus of that family circle is parent and child interaction through language. So it helps build on that identity as a bilingual learner, and to help create that self-esteem that a lot of us, learn to find on our own early on for our young ones. And so through those activities that we do at this family circle, um, positive affirmations and language through child-led play. So the activities that we do are led by our children, based on their interest and their ability to play. And it's all multi-age, where um, identifying parts of the face with your child and aught them. And that was the activity we did. And because this year, a lot of our home-based families couldn't participate in person, and we were virtual, um, we were able to be live together on Microsoft Teams, and then the recording would be posted on the Class Dojo app afterwards for all of our families who couldn't make it at that time. And so what we were able to do was to kind of go over, identifying parts of the face, using that language. And what we do encourage is that, how they hear it, writing it down phonetically, and, you know, incorporating it. And, you know, we had one of our students, they're like, "Oh, my mom," you know, they hit their head. And so, you know, we do see that the language is being utilized at home. Then here's another family circle from years prior where they learned about their emic and their kinship and their family tree, and so they were able to map out their family, you know, their Og, their Wunak, their Ju'a, their Bob, and their Huord, um, family members like that. Say Hugay.